My name's Adejre Doherty. I'm here from the Whole Leaf Company, and I'm here to ask for 120,000 of your very hard-earned pounds in exchange for 20% of our business.
That's a little bit more realistic, right? That's a bit more realistic, 100,000 for 20%, fair enough.
What the Whole Leaf Company does is we import, supply and distribute an eco-friendly, or in fact the only truly eco-friendly and sustainable alternative to the common paper and plastic disposable plate. Our products are made in a very simple, low-energy process from this, the raw material, which is a palm frond. In India, they have around about 600 million Areca palm trees. This is the top of the tree. When the nut of the tree is ripe, this falls to ground naturally. It's classed as agricultural waste. What we do is we pick up this palm frond, we wash it in a local groundwater source, and it goes through a heat press, like that, and it comes out looking like this.
By the way, if you have a really ingenious way to make the materials for your product, put it in your advertising, put it on your listing. Customers will be fascinated to understand this kind of process. Right? This could get you the sale over something else that's cheaper.
We are now supplying Sainsbury's, who are trialling our product. What we're going to do with your money is hopefully grow our business. We're going to do that by spending an amount on stock, which means we can buy at much higher volumes, much cheaper, and also develop the product. What I'd like to do is give you some plates to play with. I've got a especially strong one for you, Mr. Paphitis, because I know you like to break things. Here's one for you.
A polished pitch from Adejre Doherty, who wants to develop his fledgling business, importing disposable plates made from discarded palm leaves. The former barrister needs £120,000 and is willing to give away a 20% equity stake.
Come here.
Do you pronounce your name Adejre?
Adejre, but call me Dej, it's probably easier.
Dej, how are you? I'm Peter.
Hello, Peter.
The trial that you're doing currently in Sainsbury's,
yes.
Tell me a little bit more about the trial.
What we're supplying to Sainsbury's is a picnic pack, and it's this.
What does it sell for, retail?
That retails for £4.99.
And what do you supply it to Sainsbury's for?
£2.02, and it costs us almost exactly that to supply it to Sainsbury's. We don't make any money from it.
I missed that. What was the cost?
And it costs us almost exactly that to supply it to Sainsbury's.
Retail?
That retails for £4.99.
And what do you supply it to Sainsbury's for?
£2.02, and it costs us almost exactly that to supply it to Sainsbury's.
It's going to be incredibly tight margins if you're selling it at $4.99, even if you could half the supply cost. Surely there's got to be a way he could charge more than $4.99. Could you not go for a higher end retail store like Harrods or M&S, or just wrap it up in a different way, or bundle it, or add some value? $4.99, man, that's fair play. If he can do serious volume, then yeah, but I think there's a lot of leverage there with the price point.
We don't make any money from it at the moment because we're buying in such low volumes. And if we imported in larger volumes, immediately we'd be cutting our costs by around about 40–50%.
This is really common. So if you're doing test batches, small, the idea is not to make profit. The idea is just simply to see, does this have volume? Do the customers like it? Which colour do they prefer? Right? And you're verifying the idea. You want profit, you need volume, right? So he's just about to get that volume, but now because of the sheer volume he needs, he's going to need investment.
So you can get the cost down to £1?
For this pack? That's possible, yes.
A solid start from Dej. Now, Theo Paphitis wants to put his product under scrutiny.
So he can make £1.21 per unit, is that right? How many of these could you actually sell? Is this really worth it?
What happens if I wash this?
Now, because it's untreated, we don't use any chemicals, resins or agents, we can't, for instance, advise you to wash it and reuse it.
I'm
now,
not
if you
asking
washed
for
it,
advice. I'm asking you what happens.
if you gave it a relatively quick wipe, absolutely nothing. It retains its shape.
Right.
If you put it in a dishwasher, which I have done, it doesn't fall apart. It actually just loses its form. So if you actually take it out and dry it, you've then, got another flat plate, essentially.
So far, so good from the young businessman. But will his green credentials wash with Deborah Meaden?
Dej, hello.
Hello.
I'm Deborah.
Hello, Deborah.
I'm very pro finding alternatives to this pretty unpleasant stuff that we make our disposable products out of. So I was really quite excited. The problem with this is price. Because it stops it from being disposable.
No, not if we buy in high enough volumes. We can compare to the disposable market.
Talk me through that then.
OK, a pack of the white disposable plates that you might have seen and hopefully not used cost you about £2 for 10. So they retail for about 20 pence each. So in my estimation, supermarkets were buying them at around about 7 or 8 pence per piece. Now, if we get up to volumes of 10, 20, 50 million, we'll be able to buy them for around about 5 or 6 pence per piece.
OK, but you're talking about when you get up to those numbers.
Yes.
And I think this, do you know, I love this, but it's got a fundamental problem. People last year were happy to pay premium for environmental and organic product.
Yes.
What's happened in this marketplace are people are less inclined as people run back to price.
Yes.
And therefore, you getting to your 50 or 60 million in this climate is going to be one hell of a tall order.
So the problem with the reusables market is we want more leverage. Anytime you're selling physical products, there's a lot of cost. We want more leverage, and price gives you the most leverage. In a market where people want cheap, it's got to be tough. I'm still adamant there's a way, but I think Deborah's right. It's got to be tough.
Deborah Meaden has voiced some serious concerns. Will Duncan Bannatyne share them?
There's always a way. You know why? Because last Christmas in Harrods, they were selling Christmas crackers for £500. I mean, it's a Christmas cracker. It's like 30 seconds of enjoyment. And it wasn't even anything special inside these Christmas crackers. It was like moisturising cream. So somewhere you could sell this really expensive. But I don't think you could sell it at volume really expensive in Sainsbury's. I think that's the issue with this product. The only way I can see it working is if you go for the ultra luxury premium market, who probably, well, it's debatable whether they'd even use reusable plates.
You know, this is a good ethical product, except for the pricing, and so that makes it not a
Mr.
business.
Bannatyne, could I interrupt you? I do apologise, but in terms of the pricing, the retail side of the business, in a few years' time, will pale into comparison compared to the wholesale side of the business. And on the wholesale side of the business, what a lot of caterers, which would be our market, are looking for is platters like this.
The issue there, it's cost. They're not going to introduce a product like this.
Who's not?
The catering industry.
That's not true.
Why?
Because the caterers I've spoken to, and I've spoken to many, some of whom have already ordered this product, and I mean some of the biggest caterers in London.
How many of this product have these big caterers ordered?
Most of them have ordered around about 500 to 1,000.
That's tiny, isn't
Well, it's only a trial order. They've never used it.
Do you have written orders?
Yeah, I've got a concrete order from Eden Caterers for 1,000 of these platters. It's
Dave,
just
do you
a
know why
trial.
they've ordered 1,000, Eden? They've got a specific event in mind that they think this will work for. What they're not thinking is this is going to replace their entire range.
That's exactly what they're thinking, Mrs. Meaden.
I'm
I'm not
They're
making...
going to replace their range?
Yeah, they're going to replace their range of platters with our palm platters, and so are Kingfisher Caterers. And I actually have an email from Kingfisher.
This is the difference between emotion and data. If you have a claim like this, that you're going to make a big business decision based on, right, that caterers are going to buy tons of this stuff, you know, an order for 1,000 units is not enough data to prove it, that you're going to be able to do millions. He's just purely going off emotion. He really believes in the product, which is great, but without the data to back it up, I mean, you could believe anything, right?
Fisher.
Show me a letter from Kingfisher or Eden saying we're going to replace all of our stock with your product as soon as you get it, and we'll pay the price, no problem.
Yep, sure.
Dage's revelation of another, more lucrative market for his products may salvage his pitch, but only if Duncan Bannatyne feels he has the proof he needs.
I wanted to write and confirm our interest in your supply in this range.
Yes.
Does it say about replacing the whole?
So, interest, we really like your product. Friends and family saying, this is great, this business idea. Very different to money, right? Maybe money, or people saying they really like it, they think they would buy it. The thumbs up, worlds apart from cash in the bank because they want it right now. Right? If you want to know if something will sell, then sell it. Don't get speculative sales because it really means nothing. People are trying to please you. They're trying to just get this over and done with, this awkward ordeal about your product. Right? Proof's in the pudding. I don't think he has the proof.
No. We've indicated our requirements as being in excess of 50,000 units per annum, and we'll have an ongoing requirement for your range over the next 2 or 3 years. If it's not an order, it's an interest.
But 50,000 at 20p each is how much?
It's £10,000.
Right, so you're going to replace the whole of the caterer's requirement for a whole year, and you're going to make, at your price, £10,000 profit.
Per caterer.
I actually believe there is a possible opportunity here.
Yes.
Right, but you haven't actually worked it out. So, unfortunately, for that reason, I'm out.
Okay, Mr. Batista, thank you very much for your advice.
Yes,
Mr.
look,
Bannatyne.
it's a catch-22 situation. You can't sell them at the right price because you can't buy them at the right price. You can't get the distribution because you can't sell.
Exactly.
It's a, you know, it's a huge mess.
And that,
so for that reason, I'm out.
Okay, Mr. Bannatyne, thank you very much for your input.
Unfortunately, it's one of those marketplaces where when people talk about it, everybody's eco-friendly and they want eco-friendly and they want the world to be eco-friendly and they want less plastic. But people vote with their wallets. They vote with their credit cards. And what people buy is usually the cheaper stuff, especially when we're talking about reusables.
Disappointed that the sales leads aren't solid, two dragons walk away from the deal. James Kahn is now ready to break his silence.
OK, Des, let me tell you where I am.
Yes, Mr. Khan.
I actually like the product.
Yes.
I just think you're asking for too much money.
Okay.
If you'd come in here looking for 50,000, it would be a punt that I probably would take. But regrettably, it's not for me.
Okay, Mr. Khan.
But for that reason, I'm out.
Thank you.
Des, can I tell you where I am? I love the idea. Do you know what I like about this? It's not just environmental, it's ethical. You know, it's got the whole thing wrapped up in it. This would be a great product. You've got a big issue on price. And I didn't see a clear route to how you were going to overcome that.
Okay.
So I'm afraid I'm out.
Thank you very much for your advice. Thank you.
Dej,
Yes.
for the first time, you've made me feel like what it could be like to be a judge.
Okay.
The only reason why I can't invest in you just comes back to you've priced yourself out of the market.
May I?
No, judgment has been cast. I'm out.
Thank you.
After a bright start, it was a disappointing end for the former barrister, as these canny investors eventually exposed the vulnerabilities in his business plan. He walks away with nothing.
But joking apart, do you not agree that this product is unbelievable?
Oh, it's great.
It ticks all the boxes. It's waste. It's absolute waste.
Could he not make a non-disposable product using the same material? Like, I think he's got something here. But yeah, the price definitely would put me off. All right, thanks so much for watching. Click subscribe, like, leave a comment, and I'll catch you in the next one.